Spring practices are underway for some programs getting started in the next few weeks. We're so excited to see some sort of football action. Welcome back into Bleacher Talk. I'm Jordan Spurgeon alongside Claudia Collins, and we've got a lot to get to, Claudia, today. We've got an awesome guest who's on throughout the season, actually two of them who are on weekly during the season, of course, and some other things going on. So I'm looking forward to this one.
Absolutely. And if you didn't catch on already, those guests are Bruce Cooper and Eliab Gabai. But I'm really excited about having Bruce on because Spurge, you and I were talking and we were kind of saying like, everyone knows Bruce, right? You know, if you know him from Bleacher Talk, if you know him from his work in the Valley the last couple decades. But we wanted to know more about him and kind of his take on high school football here. So that's why we were like, let's have him on. And also we had some other duties to get to, which we'll lead off with. Well, we're bringing in a very familiar face to Bleacher Talk and our quick pick segment, which is what we want to lead off with because Coop, we are handing you your virtual crown as our quick picks king. Now you are back-to-back champion. I mean, what is your secret?
A lot of luck. I mean, it's just like close your eyes and eeny, meeny, miny, mo. That's it. I gotta come clean.
All luck,
Why
huh?
doesn't that work for me?
Coop, it's an honor. We love picking games in the fall, so we're looking forward to getting back to that one day. But yeah, back-to-back quick picks champion. I mean, that's impressive. When you were doing Friday Night Fever and stuff, were you picking games too before? I know it was mostly post-game shows. Was that something you've been doing for a long time? Is that why you got an edge?
Yeah, you know what? Honestly, you're absolutely right. With AZ Central and Arizona Republic, I was required to pick weekly with them, and it didn't work out so well for me back then. But yeah, maybe there's a little luck and a little strategy to that eeny, meeny, miny, mo strategy now.
Hey, well, Coop, that's like the perfect way to lead into what we want to talk about today. You have been a very familiar face on this platform for quite some time now, but we've never sat down and interviewed you and talked to you about your career because you've been doing this for a long time here in Arizona and you've seen things change. But I want to start from the beginning, maybe baby, mini, toddler, young adult Bruce Cooper. What got you into this career? What struck you as, okay, I want to be a sports broadcaster?
Well, you know, honestly, Claudia, like a lot of young kids, you grow up and you say, "Hey, I want to be a professional athlete." You just think that's the way it's going to go, and then reality hits, and then you have to find a different path. But fortunately for me, my uncle, you know, he told me early on in my career, he says, "Hey, you know, even if you do make it in professional athletics or professional football, you know, you might want to have a second career after you finish it." He's trying to be really kind. You know, a lot of athletes will try to go into broadcasting. So why don't you use that as a major, as a focus of yours on the academia side? And so I thought about it, said it's a pretty good idea, and it was a darn good good idea because, like I said, you know, reality hits a lot of athletes, and you find out that hey, well, the dream was good, but reality is you ain't in that field, in that elite status. And so um, started doing that, and Arizona State it really has a very keen, a very top of the line Walter Cronkite School of Broadcasting. You know, it when I was going to Arizona State, it's nothing like it is today. I mean, these kids when they start an internship with school, I mean, they're ready to hit the airways now because they're that polished, that good, and a lot of the resources there are so good. But right now, but that opened the door for me at Arizona State in terms of getting an internship, which allowed me to really grow and understand the industry a lot better. And hey, as luck would have it, I was able to get a job in the same market as my hometown. How about that?
Yeah, it's the busiest market in sports that nobody knows nationally. At Phoenix, Arizona, there's so much going on all the time. It's nonstop, and that bleeds through to high school too. I mean, we're talking high school sports here, and this is probably one of the best covered states in the country. It's now one of the most athletically gifted because of the athletes that have decided to retire here and the way the population has grown. But beyond that, the way that the state is covered, I think it is a real thing. You talk to any coaches that have been in other states and they say, wow, it's different out here. And it starts even when you're at Krunka, you can get on those beats. But speaking of high school football, Coop, I mean, we're kind of at a point now where things are changing, and it's not necessarily because of the NIL stuff. That's a big part of it, but we're seeing powerhouses change. You've seen that a lot over the years where there were other programs that were powerhouses that fell off. How have you seen that happen over the years?
Uh, well, starting in the late 80s, I guess, and rolling into the early 90s, I guess, St. Mary's High School with Pat Farrell and, Mountain View High School with Jesse Parker. I mean, it seems like those were the two big powers. And I know as we went deeper into the 90s, Mountain View High School began to assert itself as the preeminent big school power. Jesse Parker, he steps down, Bernie Buskin steps in, and they continue to roll. Meantime, up the road in the White Mountains, Blue Ridge High School under Paul Morrill, I mean, they were seeming like they owned all of the small school state titles. I mean, they were the preeminent small school power. But as we started to evolve into 2000, you know, um, John Wren at Hamilton High School, they started to flex their muscle. So they started to pass Mountain View as that preeminent big school power. And obviously the AIA at some point said, you know what, let's see if we can get some new blood in those respective conferences and see if we can get new champions. We'll create an open division. And so we'll take the elite of the elite from the 4A, 5A, 6A and let them battle to see who the best of the best is while creating new champions in the 4A, 5A, and 6A. Because every year you knew who was going to be the champion. Saguaro, Centennial, Chandler. That's the way it was going. And so when the open division was created, Chandler kind of flexed his muscle the first 2 years with Saguaro, battling there for the championship. And I believe, we saw Saguaro win year 3 of the open. And now the open has become open because what do we see? We saw Basher with Damon Williams do their thing. And then we saw just last season Navi Bruzon and Liberty do their thing. And I can't tell you who would win the Open coming into the season. Who is the best of the best? Like, look, let me tell you something. Brock Farrell's done a really good job with at Highland. They're on the come. I mean, you're seeing Higley, on the come in the 5A. So I don't really know, but yeah, there's been some change of power over the course of when I actually started covering high school football in 1990. 1990 is when we started Friday Night Fever. And look, not only from schools being powers here and powers there, I've seen, I know you talked about earlier, I mean, the athletes, the amount of talent that is produced has changed dramatically as well.
Hey, all good, Coop. Thanks so much for joining us. We appreciate the time as always.
What would you need to experience life in full motion? Expertise to provide the best care, unsurpassed training and technique. It requires the best orthopedic surgeons. Ortho Arizona.
Ortho Arizona and my journey. My knees were shot, so I had double knee replacement, and I wanted the best in rehab. Ortho Arizona encouraged and pushed me in the process. Go to orthoarizona.org. That's orthoarizona.org.
Bienvenidos. Here in the heart of the American Southwest, you'll find 3 well-known restaurants all named Valle Luna, serving the finest Sonoran-style Mexican food known across the country and beyond. And we're open for business, so come on in. We've fired up the grill and iced down the refreshments and even added some specialties along the way.
Thanks for coming.
Hello. Greetings.
Welcome back.
No matter where you're from or how you say it, at Valle Luna, you're always welcome, and we're glad to have you back.
We've got some fresh new young talent doing some things that I know you haven't heard before.
1, 2, 3, listen.
Now bust a move, bust a move, bust a move.
Custom ordering is at Santan Ford. Colors, wheels, trims, performance packages, and more from the factory right to your driveway. And you can even track your custom Ford every step of the way.
We are Santan Ford.
Discover more Play for All at Harrah's Auction Casino.
Hi, folks. Here are your drinks.
Where having fun means racking up reward credits with the Caesars Rewards loyalty program that can be redeemed for food, free play, hotel stays, and more. Not only here in the city of Maricopa, but also at more than 50 Caesars properties coast to coast. From Harrah's Las Vegas to Caesars Palace in Atlantic City. What are you waiting for? Play for All at Harrah's Auction Casino, the official sponsor of Play.
Unlock your home's equity with a home equity line of credit from Desert Financial Credit Union and use the cash for whatever you need. Get started now. Rates are still low and home values are high. Visit desertfinancial.com/HELOC and unlock your home's equity today.
Travis Dixon. Travis, you're the former Hamilton Husky quarterback. You won the first 2 state champions all the way back in the early 2000s as the quarterback. So as you've gone along the coaching journey, did you ever imagine that it would take you full circle back at Hamilton one day?
I just think in life, everything's full circle, right? You know, when I first got into coaching, I was a young guy. Wanted to go at the highest level possible, you know, especially when you start off at Hamilton and then go to Arizona State. You try to stay at that level as long as possible, knowing that sometimes coaches don't stay at that level, at a high elite level for very long. And like I said, some things changed within the course of life. And when I came home and me and my wife, Joanna, we had started our family, I think this was the best opportunity, best situation for us, was to continue to be rooted here in Arizona and raise our family here.
How did this come about? So you're on Eddie Zuby's staff at Higley 2 years ago, part of a championship team there. You get your first head coaching gig at Eastmark. Great season there. You get them into the 4A quarterfinals. And then this job opens up. How did the process work on your end? Was it you applying? Was it them reaching out? Like, what was it like from your perspective?
I think the biggest thing was it's just trying to just put my name in the hat and see where it goes. You know, I know it was a national search for this job for the coach that they wanted to hire. You know, there was a lot of great people that I'm sure that put in for it. At the same time, I think the body of work and the things that I've done over the course of a decade and my things that I've done at the college level and high school, you know, speaks value for itself, regardless of the situations and everything else. I'm just excited to have the opportunity, you know, and I think the biggest thing starts with the support of my wife. My wife was able to give me the support to do these things, to allow me to progress and move forward, but also Delatorre over at Hamilton, just putting his trust and faith in me and Brett Palmer, the athletic director. So I'm excited about this opportunity, excited to be the fifth head coach over at Hamilton.
So the expectation there is always championships. I know the last one was won in 2012, but you know, the last few years have still been successful. 5 straight Open Division appearances, a field goal away from winning an Open Division championship back in 2020. What do you think it's going to take for you? And maybe you've had those discussions. I'm assuming you've had those discussions with front office and maybe even kids now. What do you think it's going to take for you to get back to that level of not just getting there every year, but getting this team over the hump and winning potentially its first Open Division championship?
Definitely. Well, I think Coach G's done a great job during his time here. Came in during a rough time, but got it to be competitive and did the things that he was supposed to do when that program was at a rough state. And I want to give all the credit to him and the things that he's continuously done during the course of the years here. I think the biggest thing when I look at this job and the opportunity for us to be competitive and to get in that last game. It's how we train and how we go about being a champion. I talk about championship habits every day. I think everything that we do in life, we fall back on our training.
Coming up next, Eliav Gabai will be joining us for his social spotlight segment, always bringing the goods every single week from Instagram, Twitter. We'll see what he has in store for us coming up.
When you get a home loan from Desert Financial, you're not just getting a mortgage. You get a mortgage. You'll get more competitive rates, more local servicing of your loan. We even offer a closing guarantee on select loans. And because more is better, get up to $5,000 closing cost credit when you use a participating real estate broker. At Desert Financial, we don't just do mortgages, we do mortgages. Click, call, or come in for more information on our great rates, local servicing, and how you can qualify for a closing cost credit of up to $5,000.
With springtime savings going on now at Burge Volkswagen, it's time to get out and enjoy the Arizona weather in your favorite new Volkswagen. Save with 0% financing or $2,000 customer bonus on new Tiguans, 1.9% financing for 60 months, or a $3,000 customer bonus on Atlas and Atlas Cross Sport. Save with 3.9% for 72 months on Taos, or drive a 2024 Jetta starting at $22,995. Rush to Burge Volkswagen for springtime savings. Burge Volkswagen, Baseline and Country Club, or burgevw.com.
Let's talk about Venezia's Pizzeria. New York style pizza. Oh man, this looks so good. Pizza doughs made fresh daily, wings, subs, sandwiches, pasta. They cater, they deliver. They have 5 Valley locations. Venezia's New York style pizzeria.
What would you need to experience life in full motion? Expertise to provide the best care, unsurpassed training and technique. It requires the best orthopedic surgeons. Ortho Arizona.
Unlock your home's equity with a home equity line of credit from Desert Financial Credit Union and use the cash for whatever you need. Get started now. Rates are still low and home values are high. Visit desertfinancial.com/HELOC and unlock your home's equity today.
What's up? Welcome back to Bleacher Talk. Claudia Collins alongside Jordan Spurgeon, and it's finally time for the social spotlight segment with Eliav Gabai. Eliav, thanks for being with us today. What are the goods you're bringing?
Well, we're starting off with Saguaro football, the defending 6A state champs with new head coach Darius Kelly, looking good at these pre-spring workouts. And Claudia, I know you're going to like this. After this, they went to ASU spring practice, checked out what's going on over there. But what are the fair expectations for this program this year, Claudia?
Okay, this is honestly a really kind of tough topic because Saguaro has been such a powerhouse for so long, but we've seen what continued coaching changes does for programs. Desert Vista is like not the best example, but it's the most clear one that I have, just because they've experienced a lot of coaching changes. I mean, what, 5 coaches in 5 years? Is that what we're at now? 4 and 4. I can't even keep track. Mind you, I think Darius Kelly has a really, really good mindset for how to lead the team. Obviously, he was a part of it. Last season, we talked to him here on Bleacher Talk. He started off as a volunteer, really has a passion for it. And I think that goes a long way. The problem that I see is just, kids are transferring out because they want to go somewhere where they can feel like things are consistent. Obviously, Saguaro, to a degree, I mean, they still did take a step back last season, because this is a team that we saw constantly competing in the Open Championship and often winning it over the last several years. So I just think it is what it is. Coaching change is hard on these athletes. And think about the guys that are seniors there. This is their 3rd head coach. You know what I mean? So expectations, truthfully, I don't think I'm going to have any until, the first few games of the season and kind of see how it goes. Mind you, how I think practices are probably going and things like that. Eliav, I think you could speak on that more. But I think he's a great guy, great coach, great passion. And I think it's just going to take these kids buying in. And I think we need to see more of that when coaching changes happens. It's going to be about the kids, and buying into their new coach. So I think that's what it's going to come down to.
And to your point, these workouts now way early are what can give them a chance to develop that chemistry, develop everything they need to when the time comes. So I'm with you, Claudia. All right, next one. Shout out to our guy, BJ Media, for posting this. We love him. If you need any content, he's also great for all high school sports. Spurge, how can you not get amped up with this kind of energy in the gym? Look at Brophy putting up PRs. That's what I'm talking about. Come on.
It's all about the weight room, and the energy that you have as a football team in the weight room means so much. We talk about camaraderie and building chemistry. It happens in the weight room. Yes, they'll get out to spring ball in a few weeks and they'll start working on the X's and O's and all the skill. But right now, having your PR days, doing that in the weight room. I know their weight coach has been there 9 years. You've got lots of talented young kids that are putting up big numbers. A lot of former NFL players have their kids there right now, and those guys are weight room warriors because they grew up around that culture. So that is what it's all about. Jason Jewell's got a special thing brewing over there. And like Brandon said in that post, don't be surprised that this is a team, as their size continues to grow, that is competing somewhere higher in 6A or even in the Open Division come playoff time.
So the last one we have is a little bit more of a serious note. Desert Edge handed down a probation, which eventually led to the Carter brothers deciding to resign from their position. Obviously, just an unfortunate situation all around. Our guy, Eric Sorensen, did give his opinion, and I think we're all pretty much on board with the way he covered that and the story he told. So if you want to know more, go to sports360az.com. But Claudia, we'll start with you. What are your thoughts about the situation as a whole?
Like you said, I think it's kind of, a lot of us are really in line with this being really unfair. And I think for the most part, it's unfair to the kids. We just talked about coaching change, and to go from the team that, just competed in the 5A state title game and has, a long-standing history with the Carter brothers. I mean, they have really built a culture. And if you check out Twitter, like, there's an uproar from these Scorpion football players about this, because I think they love their coaches. You know what I mean? And I think that they've done a really good job over there. It's hard to say too much without feeling it. It still feels like we're in the dark a little bit. There's still like missing pieces and a little bit of missing information. However, if we're going to talk about like recruiting scandals and this and that, I mean, read another one of Eric Sorensen's zone reads a few weeks ago with all the anonymous coaches. We don't know who was talking, but there are multiple coaches who are talking about, hey, this is an open enrollment state. Like, kids are just going and looking for opportunities. Like, sometimes kids are just going to transfer for a better opportunity. And like, it might be looked at as recruiting, even if that, student athlete was going to make that choice on their own anyway. So it's, like I said, we need more information. I want to know more. I feel like we're in the dark.
Yeah, I mean that's the big thing. There's lots of speculation. Still waiting for the dust to settle. I know there's now going to be another hearing on the 23rd about whether or not to lift the probation. They got an emergency meeting with the AIA executive board for that. So we'll see. As the Carters said when they stepped down, that's why they were doing this. It was their kind of last act of kindness towards their players, was to hopefully give them a chance at the playoffs. But what's sad too is, from my knowledge, there was a players meeting when that happened, and they all said we'd rather have our coaches that play in the playoffs. We'd rather just not even have a chance at the postseason, despite the success we've had, because we love those coaches. And that just speaks on the Carters as people. And that's where I'm going. They're just great people. They're great for the sport of football. They're great for Arizona, because not only what they've done on the field, sure, you can look at all the on the field accolades, but what they do for these young men. I mean, Desert Edge is a school specifically that, these guys are getting opportunities that they wouldn't otherwise have through football, because they're getting, last year, 18 guys going to college to play football. They're getting school paid for, especially in football. When you're going on scholarship, you're getting your entire schooling paid for. That's what they're all about. We talked to them a few weeks ago on Bleacher Talk. They were all about the academics and things like that. So a lot to be settled. Lots been said. There's different things with, was it an actual violation? Was it even a student athlete involved? I've heard it wasn't even someone who was a student athlete. I'm not going to get into speculation on that, but there's a lot there. It's sad, and I hope that things come out for the better for everybody involved. But we wish nothing but the best to the Carter brothers. They are some of the best people we've ever been around. Anyone that's been around them would, I think, agree that they are just great people, and whatever's next for them, they'll be just fine. That'll do it for this week on Bleacher Talk. Next week, we've got some camps to talk about and different things going on around high school football here in the Valley. You're not going to want to miss that, but until then, catch everything high school football related and everything else over on sports360az.com. We'll see you all next week.
We got them at Santan Ford. From the latest all-electrics to the most rugged 4x4s and America's best-selling truck.
We are Santan Ford.
Visit us at Harrah's Auction Casino in the city of Maricopa, where you'll find play for all and friendly people ready to welcome you like family.
Welcome back, you two.
As the official sponsor of Play and the only casino in Arizona with Caesars Rewards, see what a difference it makes to play where your fun is our top priority. Harrah's Auction Casino. Play for all.
Bienvenidos.
Here in the heart of the American Southwest, you'll find 3 well-known restaurants all named Valle Luna, serving the finest Sonoran-style Mexican food known across the country and beyond. And we're open for business, so come on in. We've fired up the grill and iced down the refreshments and even added some specialties along the way.
Thanks for coming.
Hello. Greetings.
Welcome back.
No matter where you're from or how you say it, at Valle Luna, you're always welcome, and we're glad to have you back.
When you get a home loan from Desert Financial, you're not just getting a mortgage. You get a mortgage and up to $5,000 closing cost credit. Click, call, or come in for more information on our great rates, local servicing, and how you can qualify for a closing cost credit of up to $5,000.